Living by the sea is great. It certainly has its advantages. And over the years, you'll learn to appreciate the aromas, the characteristics, and all that goes along with that. And sometimes those things come into play in certain whiskies. And that is definitely the case today with the Bunnahabhain Móine. So stay tuned to find out why it has those coastal aspects. What's up, whiskey lovers, and welcome to another episode of Whiskey Straight with me, Big Al. And yes, today I'm bringing you a bit of the coast and a bit of peat and a bit of smoke. You know, Islay is associated with peat and smoke. Bunnahabhain Móine is what is up for review today, and Móine in Gaelic means peat. Haven't done a peaty whiskey for a while. Probably the last one was my revisiting of my old nemesis, the Caligula 12, which had gone well up in my estimation. So let's get into this Bunnahabhain Móine and see how it fares. Now, as you would expect with Bunnahabhain, things are done right. It's unchill filtered, it's naturally coloured, it's bottled at 46.3% ABV, a nice sweet spot, and it has elements of the coast. Now, as you know, Bunnahabhain has been about for a while, and it was actually founded in 1881, and it's the only distillery on Islay to draw pure water from a spring. And what they say here is that the Móine reflects the distillery's 19th century origins, when Bunnahabhain malts were strongly peated. And the distillery manager says that they replicate a warm, smoky essence of these ancient liquids by distilling a single malt from peated malted barley. This liquid is then left to mature in specially selected casks in our bonded warehouses overlooking the sea. And as you would expect, nature does play a crucial role in the process, so we don't interfere by chilling the Móine, which allows its natural colour and flavour to be savoured to the full. So now that we've done that little bit of a recap on the history of Bunnahabhain, let's get into this Móine and see what it's like. And as always, if you've got some of this at home, why don't we drop into your glass and drink along, because whiskey is always better shared. So we'll start off in the nose. Sláinte. Right off, yes, it lives up to its name, Móine, peat. But what's coming with it too is wet grass, and I mean wet coastal grass, not wet grass as in the garden here, but wet grass as in down behind me here along the shore. And there's a salty sea air comes into play too. There's a wee bit of brininess. And then that lovely little wisp of smoke emerges. Like, what's nice about this now is there's an orange sweetness that just comes right out through that peaty smokiness. And it's very marmalade-y in nature. It's not even a word, but you know what I mean. It's like rich orange marmalade, like with the bits in, with the zesty bits in, full of flavour. Very nice. Yes, this really is very coastal in nature. And one of the nice things about a whiskey like this is you can relate to where you live and to where it was made as well. You know, as a coastal dweller, as you can see, this brings back memories of a nice walk along the shore on a crisp, breezy day, you know, where the waves are lapping up onto the beach and creating a wee bit of a sea breeze and bringing up a bit of that saltiness, a bit of that brininess, so you can take it in, so you can smell it. And then that breeze is bringing with it too the nice aromas of a working harbour. Like, what I'm talking about here is the likes of a smokehouse where they put the fish in to get smoked, and it's all coming across there. All in all, yes, it's peaty, Yes, it's smoky, but it's very, very much got those lovely elements of the coast. So let's see how it fares in the palate. Sláinte. Now it certainly lives up to its name on the palate too. Right in the arrival, it's peaty. But coming up through that peat is a nice sort of a swirling flavour of smoke. It's like a bit of alchemy, something that you see sometimes in some of the cocktail videos you might watch. It's like when you pop something in, that smoke comes swirling up through the glass. And this is what it feels like. And also there is a hefty couple of pinches of black pepper to add a wee bit of a bite, to add a wee bit of spiciness as well. And then as it transitions from the front to the mid palate to the rear of palate, getting a wee bit of oaky richness infused with some barrel char, a bit of espresso coffee, probably double espresso coffee, wee bit bitter in nature but full of flavour. Now as we get into it, that spiciness is a wee bit more ginger in nature, and then there's another element of fruitiness that comes into play too, and it's not sweet fruit, it's more like a dull lemon curd type of sweetness. And again, along with that, there's an orange spicy element that comes in right in the back of the palate that gives it a wee bit of life, a wee bit of vibrancy. Despite all those other little fruity elements going on, the one thing that sort of rings true with this, that is the underlying consistent element, is that peaty smokiness. And it's really done well here. It's reasonably complex. The mouthfeel is oaky, it's creamy. And the finish just goes on and on and on. It really does linger, and it brings about pretty much everything that you get throughout the tasting experience. From the spicy, zesty fruitiness of the orange through to the barrel char, the espresso coffee, and even now a wee bit of dark chocolate coming into play as well. All in all, this is a lovely whisky. Now I picked this up on a bargain at 32, 33 quid I think, and I've seen it ranging from the mid 30s to about 50 quid when looking about online, and I haven't seen it in too many places. But I tell you what, if you can get it especially at that lower price, and peaty smoky whiskey's not your thing, this could be a good gateway into the peaty smoky elements of Scotch whisky, because this is done well. It's a medium bodied, rich mouthfeel, but the peatiness and the smokiness are not overwhelming. They're there and they're done nicely, and it's balanced well with those other fruity flavours and that briny, sea salty element. So all in all, I think that would translate into a score of 87.5 for me. Definitely recommend it. Very good whisky, and you know what? I wouldn't mind having another bottle. Say that about most whiskies though, don't I? But anyway, so thanks once again for hanging out, folks. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below if you've had this before, if you're considering it. I'd be really interested to know. And thanks to my new subscribers. Thanks especially to you guys who support me through the likes of Patreon and Subscribestar. It really is appreciated, more than you can imagine. And until the next time, folks, stay safe, look after each other, and keep on drinking your whiskey the way you like it. Sláinte. Thanks for watching, folks. I really do appreciate it. Please check out these other reviews, and if you'd like to support the channel, the best way is by subscribing, liking and commenting. And don't forget to ring that bell for all video notifications so you don't miss out. on any future content. Cheers.